We have a saying around here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no brains, no headache.
Well, hello, boys.
What's up? What's up?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Heyo, episode 193, No Brains, No Headache podcast. Happy to be here. Name's Jordan. I'm going to be your host, as always. Damn glad to do so. It's been really fun doing this. 193 times.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's weird. You know, time just doesn't stop. That's a concept maybe we'll talk about later. I don't know. We're going to find out. I'm here with my co-host, my confidant, my longtime friend, fellow comedian. He's wearing the plaid flannel and the backwards hat. Matt Ongo Cleary. Ongo, how have you been? Haven't seen you in like a week.
Yeah, it's been fucking awesome.
Yeah, I remember the last episode with Samson. It was great. Be sure you check it out. He was like, wow, I can't believe you guys have known each other for like 25 years. And I was like, yeah, I fucking hate you.
Not to be gay or anything, but I got you a gift.
Oh, you got... I went on vacation and you got me something while I was gone. Oh, nice. These came in the mail. How do we open it? These are high tech.
Ow, my fingies got.
Oh, there's a piece of tape. Really, the security on these things. I know what it is, but I just want it for the big reveal. Does anybody have a knife? Okay, I got mine. What's the shell called again?
A puka shell?
Puka shell necklaces have come in the mail. I don't even know if this is going to fit around the neck. You can check us out on YouTube and watch the episode, see what we're doing.
It has an extender.
I might need the extender for my fat neck. And this is off to a hot start. Puka shell.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Mine might explode.
Okay, I think I can, but it's going to be like... But isn't this the classic look? Don't you want it? It's... Because we had a discussion with... Ow, neck hairs. We had to... Ow, fuck. Need a fresh shave. The hairy neck does not go well with the puka shell necklaces. Rookie mistake. But we had a conversation with our server, and she was wearing a choker necklace.
Yep.
And then we asked her opinion on the puka shell.
Oh, yeah, that was on St. Patty's, wasn't it?
Yeah, St. Patty's. Oh, I'm doing it blind because I can't see. Am I close, Matt?
I don't know.
I don't even know. Honestly, we could be here for 45 minutes.
Yeah,
Today's episode is just two morons trying to get their puka shell necklaces on.
it's just weird. When you pay like $6 for something, you'd think that it'd be high quality.
You're doing the extender?
Yeah, mine would explode on my neck. I have like a 28-inch neck.
It'll be the first white thing that exploded on your neck. All right, I got mine on. How do I look?
Gay as ever.
That's what I'm going for. You can't really see it, but, you know, we got some nicer weather on the horizon, so I think this could be a nice accessory to my outfit. Wearing a hooded sweatshirt isn't great. You know, for the sake of the podcast, and I want our viewers to see this, I'm going to take off the sweatshirt. Those on YouTube saw my hairy belly.
Nothing will make you feel more inadequate than trying to put on a necklace.
Dude, this looks hot. I like it. The thing about necklaces, though, like I'll wear them once or twice, but then I'll like take them off to go to bed and then forget about them for 4 weeks. That doesn't look as good, I don't think. I think you need to be shirtless for these to really pop
or
off.
Or just go with like the entirely too many buttons open.
All right. Thank you, Matt. That was a nice little present. Great start to the episode here. Plus, we have these nice little cases now.
You could put drugs in
You
there.
could definitely put drugs in here. That's what I would probably use it for. Nice. And then, if you add a little piece of tape, it's pretty much just secures the Pentagon. So
That's
good.
Just hide all your money in there.
And drugs. All my money would fit in there.
Yeah. All my money is in drugs.
Post vacay, I am poor. And how do you say poor? I am poor. Actually, it wasn't too bad. You know, it's nice when people just want to pay for your shit.
Oh, that is nice.
You don't say no.
So this last week, March Madness started, and I've done something that I haven't done in a super long time, and that was take a day off of work and watch basketball all day. And let me tell you, it is awesome.
Is it everything you dreamed of and more?
Yeah, and I also got back into sports betting.
Were you off for a while?
Yeah, I got out of sports
Because
betting.
there's nothing really exciting to bet on. Football was over. We weren't quite to March Madness. Baseball's not going on.
I had a big loss, and I was like, in order to save money, I'm going to get out of sports betting and get into sports cards.
Okay. And how's that going?
I lost even more money in sports cards. So I decided to get back into sports betting, and it's awesome. Even if you're betting like $20, you have like some sort of monetary value in the game. So it's like I'm cheering on UAB, and I didn't even know the college existed until like 20 minutes before that.
Yeah, I myself could very easily get into any sports game at all. I feel like I'm a loyal person, and I can be a quick friend, meaning I can be a quick fan, and add those two together with a little monetary value. I could easily get into some bullshit game, but if people don't know this about me, I'm not a big sports gambler. I gamble with you and I do our side bets, but I don't know. I'll do illegal drugs, but I won't illegally sports bet. I don't know why. That's where my morals are, but that's where they stand.
I mean, it's a fine line, and it's a very wobbly line.
You know, it is. I mean, at least I'm not doing both. You know, like
I mean, it could be worse.
Could be worse.
But so I spent the entire day, and so I had just eaten lunch, and this guy came in to the bar I was at and literally was like yelling at one of the bartenders to change the TVs to the wrestling
during March Madness.
Yeah, and they were like, and he was just kind of being a dickhead, so he gets kicked out at like 1 p.m.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that would have been a sight to see.
It was so funny, and they're like, there's no wrestling even on. I'm like, I don't want to come to that guy's rescue, but there is wrestling on right now. It's just no one watches it. You have to have like ESPN The Ocho to get it. But he gets kicked out, and like 10 minutes later, the bar phone keeps ringing, and they're like, yeah, he just keeps calling, asking to put wrestling on.
Guy was pissed. Well, what do you expect, though?
And they just let it ring, and it literally rang for like...
Don't go to a Hoppin' sports bar during March Madness basketball and expect wrestling to be on. You need to go to the dark dive bar where, you know, they want you to have an incredible experience, and nobody else is in there, so then you can kind of have the TV to yourself. Don't go to the Poppin' sports bar. That's just unnatural.
But I made the mistake of like drinking for
12 hours.
Yeah, I put in a good shift.
No, that wasn't a mistake, Matt. You that was fully well known. That was premeditated. You knew what you're getting yourself into.
Well, here's the actual mistake.
That's negative self-talk, and you need less of that, okay? You need positive self-talk. Don't say you made a mistake when you're fully planning on doing it, okay? You executed your plan to perfection, Matt. Give yourself some credit.
I came home and I went to change a light bulb because that's what you should do when you're wasted.
That's what you did? Like, did the light bulb go off in your head and you're like, oh shit, I gotta go home and change the light bulb?
Well, no, the day before I had bought light bulbs and then just completely forgot to change it. And then so I was like, oh, I'll change the light bulb down here. And so I get up on this chair to change the light bulb, and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot the light bulb because I like took it out and I was standing
drunk.
And I kind of put the thing back into the glass thing on there. And I step down to get it, and the glass thing falls and hits the back of my head and shatters.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I was fine, but
where was the thought process? Were you done drinking for the day, or was this in middle of the shift?
No, I was done for the day. Like I was just like hanging out, and then I was
at the end of the drinking escapade, You're like, oh, you know what we should do right now? Change the light bulb.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I get that thing.
I think you'd struggle with that sober.
Oh, for sure. I do. Like, all the time. But
I don't understand. I don't get it. You know?
well, needless to say, my March Madness bracket is torched. I had Auburn going a long way.
By a long way, you mean to the championship.
Yep.
They didn't win it, but
And then I had St. Mary's going to the Final Four.
our alma mater.
Yep. Same thing. And they lost almost immediately to Grand Canyon. Like
GCU private school.
they lost
Down
to
in
the
Phoenix.
They lost to the Grand Canyon. They lost to a national monument. And yeah, and the other side wasn't too much better. I think I had Nebraska going on a run.
GCU has the most weird mascot.
It's
Do you know what it is? Like you think Grand Canyon University,
is it
and
like
then
a
it's
toad?
and then it's not that random, but it is. You don't think that Grand Canyon University would have this? I have it up right here, Matt. It's the Grand Canyon University Antelopes
Is there even antelopes in?
in Arizona. I don't know. GCU's in Phoenix. In case you didn't know that.
What else?
Thunder the Antelope.
So Arizona State's in Phoenix too, isn't it?
It's technically in Tempe, which is just
A suburb of Phoenix.
essentially yes.
Okay.
The Phoenix area is huge. It's funny we're on the subject.
Yeah, I actually knew that, but if I had to guess what's bigger, the Phoenix area or the entire state of Hawaii,
I have no idea.
I'm going to go Phoenix.
I have no clue. I'm going to go with Hawaii with this one. Little geography lesson here on No Brains, No Headache.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Who the hell are you, man? Isaac fucking Newton?
Okay. Let's party.
Did I give you enough time to type? Or are you a bad typer?
Yeah, it's Phoenix is like 100,000 more people, but it's close.
Oh, you're just going with population, not land mass?
No, I wasn't going. Who measures land mass?
I thought that's what you were going for.
No chance.
Oh. Phoenix it is. Little miscommunication.
So what did you do at your time down in Arizona?
Yeah, I just got back from Arizona. Matt, the good friend he is, I got back late last evening, and Matt, the good friend he is, texts me earlier today and says, "Do you need a ride from the airport?" As I'm sitting on my toilet at home. I said, "I don't think so, considering I'm already at home, but thank you for the offer." And I did debate. We were talking about it. I was like, should have definitely told Matt to come pick me up from the airport. And then been like, no, dude, I'm at the studio right now.
My level of anger, I don't think would have. It would have shot through the roof.
Yeah, well, that's the whole idea. Just trying to piss you off.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize what day you got back. For some reason, I thought it was today.
Yeah, I was down there for a week, which was good. I mean, when you book a flight and it's just so affordable, it's like, okay, well, yeah, I'm gonna go do this. So I did. It was fun. Stayed with Dirty Dev, so that was fun. I got in late Monday night, so didn't really do a whole lot. But then Tuesday, I was like, all right, I gotta hit up the open mic scenes. You know, I gotta spread my seed down, my comedic seed down here, if you will.
Spread your legs.
Spread my legs. Been known to do that. But yeah, I did. I went to Chandler, Arizona, which is a bit out of the way. Everything's out of the fucking way in Phoenix. Like, it's fine. I get
seems
it.
like no matter where you're going, it's like it'll be a half hour.
Minimum if you're lucky. So location is key down there, but thankfully I had some transportation, some people willing to drive me around, so that was good. Yeah, of course I get put almost set third to last because I'm the new guy. It was fucking outdoors too. Like, I know it was Arizona and it was warm and I was fine in like a t-shirt, but I was like, why is this outside? Why are we doing this outside?
Was it at like a bar or what?
It was like at a bar. It was a weird concept. It was like kind of like a courtyard almost, where like there was a bar on one side and then there was like a pizza joint, food joint, like kind of across the way, and they called it like a campus. I don't know, just it's way too hipster of business ideas. Whatever happened to the brick and mortar mom and pop shop? You know, why do we have to have all these fucking crossovers? I don't get it. Why are we doing comedy outside? I didn't make the rules, so I didn't really have much to say, but I dominated. I mean, the thing is, though, like, it's their open mics, so they're all trying new jokes like we do at our open mics, and I just went down, like, well, I'm just going to give them some shit that I already know works.
Yeah.
So there was the big difference there, but dominated per usual. Yeah, it's pure domination pretty much. Met some guys, that was cool. They actually know Jim Telly, one of our fellow comedians. So we had some mutual friends, so that was cool. And then Wednesday I went to another one. This one was actually in a dark, like extra room of a bar. So I was like, okay, this is more my vibe. And they're like, I'm like, where's the sign up? They said, we're not doing sign up yet. The host is out of town. So we don't know what the plan is. I'm like, oh, great. Fantastic.
No one talked to...
All of a sudden, all the comedians leave the room. They're all walking out. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, it's canceled. I'm like, sweet. I just flew across the country for this to get canceled on. I didn't get it because I had an open mic here that I left for, and I put you in charge. I made the proper, accommodations to make sure that the open mic doesn't get canceled. What kind of professionalism do they have in Arizona? None.
I don't
Absolutely
think
none.
putting me in charge is what we call proper. But
we didn't have to cancel.
It did go.
If somebody from Arizona was in Bismarck that night,
they could have still done
it.
We had a couple newbies. It was fun.
See? Yeah, how did it go?
It was good.
Good, yeah. It's been a great turnout at our open mics. So.
It was also a weird, because it was right when we started getting a snowstorm, so like people were like shutting it down, but we still got a decent turnout, which I was kind of jazzed
That's the
about.
best. It's a little spooky. I don't know, because are we going to get 20 inches or normally disappointed with the 2,
It's a lot like my...
Yeah.
never mind.
So that one got canceled. I'm like, well, son of a bitch. But it's Wednesday in Phoenix area, so there's open mics all over. So I got like a few recommendations from fellow comedians. I'm like, all right, let's go check out this other one. Now, you know me, I love a good dive bar. Okay, I love a good dive, don't you?
Yeah.
Everybody loves a good dive, or at least most people. And so I'm okay with dive bars, but this one we went to, it was too much. It was just so bad. They had like, obviously they had like bar food, but your bartender is also your cook. So like the fryers were like right there. The place reeked. The men's bathroom didn't lock. I'm not huge on that, but it's like, okay, well, when my dong's hanging out and the whole bar can see me taking a leak, a little uncomfortable. And then, yeah, like this server just had like the biggest boobs, and they were just like, they were like, hey, like, I love me a good boob. I love a good cleavage, but oh my goodness, these things were like, oh my God. And she was also the chicken wing fryer. I'm like, honey, you better tuck your boob in, otherwise your nipple's going to get burned pretty soon here. Like, this is too much. And it was just her, and she was trying to make drinks and make fucking chicken wings, and I couldn't even get a beer, and it was too much. And then I started talking to the other comedians. I was like, how is this place? They're like, you really got to hook them right away because people aren't afraid to just like talk over you. And the stage was literally just the part in front of like the little arcade games. Oh. Like one chick I was talking to, she's like, yeah, I did a set and somebody was just playing Galaga.
Yeah.
Whatever. Galaga behind me. It's just like, oh, okay, this sounds great. And yeah, it was a late one because came from the one open mic to the other one. There was still like an hour and a half before it even started, and I was just having none of it. I was like, I don't really care. This doesn't bother me. Like usually I could get angry at that situation, but I was like, whatever. Let's just leave. So I didn't end up doing comedy that night, which kind of stunk because once again it was like 40 minutes away one way, and it's just like I felt bad, but I made sure to fill up the gas tank for my hosts and make sure they're taken care of. But yeah, so that was interesting. Homegirl's boob didn't pop out while we were there, but who's to say it didn't after we left?
Write that bar down. I might want to.
Yeah. I don't know, buddy. She could play nose guard for the Panthers next year. So
I mean, when you were describing the bar, I'm like, this sounds a lot like a bar you'd walk into in Mandan.
No, it was worse. It was just
God.
so greasy. It was too greasy. At least the dive bars around here, it's like, okay, they might smell like urinal cakes and sewage and sell the cheapest beer known to mankind, but at least they like wipe off the surfaces and like occasionally vacuum. Like, come on.
This is one of the places you walk into and your feet stick to the floor and you just walk out of your shoes.
Yeah. So I didn't do that. Thursday, I went to Stand Up Live in downtown Phoenix. Never been to downtown Phoenix, like the actual downtown part.
Isn't it like a war zone?
As far as I'm convinced, the part we were in was the only part like in the area, because I was looking around. I was like, I don't see any. Usually you're able to like see more bars down the way and signs, and like, I was like, I'm pretty sure this is it. Like, if you go any further, you're guaranteed a stabbed kidney.
I do have a downtown Phoenix story that I'll tell after, but
go ahead.
So I went to the only time I've ever been to downtown Phoenix. I think I was with my family, but I could be wrong. But we went to find. We were like, oh, this is the best tacos in the city. I think we like had like map quested or something.
In Phoenix, that's a bold statement.
But we go up and we're like, we think it's like a big restaurant, and we get there and it's like an empty parking lot with a food truck, and the food truck is powered by the guy's Ford Taurus sitting next to it with like jumper cables hooked up to it. Like,
okay, well then that's how you know they're gonna be good.
Jerry rigged somehow. I think we left immediately and just went to like a Carl's Jr. and Shame ate some food, but it looked like you were gonna get murdered. This guy just somehow was on like Yelp as a 5-star taco restaurant in a parking lot, using his 96 Ford Taurus to power the entire food truck.
I don't know, some of the best food comes from food trucks,
I think the only thing coming from this food truck was like salmonella, because it looked absolutely disgusting.
I don't know. I beg to differ. I think that's how you know it's going to be good. The more ghetto, the better. For tacos, that is. I mean, that can't be for everything, but I went to Stand Up Live, legit comedy club. They do have food there, though, which to me is a big no-no with comedy, but I get it. It's like you're going to have all sorts of different clubs, and like this was classic. Like they crammed as many people in there as possible. It was a big area.
What was the layout of it?
Just kind of like long tables, kind of like a beer hall almost.
Yep.
But it wasn't like benches. It was like actual seats. And then, for me, it was just a party of two. So we actually got really good spots. We got like the last one on a row. So we didn't have like weird random people behind us, just like some homies to our left. And of course they were comedians. Like, oh God, everyone here's a fucking comedian. Yeah. I was one of those jackasses. So it was good. The opener was really funny. He had definitely a young bachelor sense of humor. He pulled a me and asked about the MILFs in the crowd. I was like, this son of a bitch is stealing my jokes.
I'm on record.
And then of course, he got a few woos, and he's like, okay, well, I'll be the guy standing out front later. Posted up. But he was good. The second guy was really funny. I mean, classic saying, you don't remember the jokes, you remember the experience. But he had some bangers. He had a really funny joke about how he went to a gay club one time. He's a straight male, but he went to a gay club one time, and he was telling us, the crowd, about how, the gay community and gay guys are always like, don't worry, honey, like, you're welcome here, like, even if you're not gay, like, and then they kept like buying him drinks and stuff, and then he goes off on this big long thing about how they're just the best hospitality, la la la, and then at the end he goes, yeah, and so I fuck the guy. Just like, yeah, so that was a really funny joke. And He crushed it. And then, dude, Tim Dillon, I mean, he is so interesting. Like, he just went off for, I don't know, probably like 45 minutes. It was just so, I don't even remember. It was just so funny. And the fact that he is a gay male himself is just so funny. Like, he's, I don't know, I guess you'll get a pass to say things.
He's one of those guys that literally cannot be canceled, no matter what he says.
Oh, and I mean,
And it's fantastic.
Just the way he ties his jokes together of, you know, social issues, global issues, whatever. He just goes off on rants. And yeah, I always love the crowd work too of like really professional veteran comedians. It's like one homeboy was sitting up front and Tim asked him what he like did for a living. And I think he said he like works at like the car dealership or something like that. And it was like a Nissan dealership, and yeah, Tim just like went off about like Nissan dealerships, like just very impressive. But yeah, check that out. That was fun. I got a bucket of high noons, so I thought that was cool. Like once I saw that on the menu, I'm like, well, I know what I'm ordering, so I'll do the bucket.
Was it super expensive, like New York prices, or?
It was. Let's see. It was.
I have something in. So bucket of 6, right, or 5?
Okay, well, the ticket itself, like when I went in New York, you didn't really have to buy tickets. You just had to reserve your spot.
Yeah.
And then when you get there, it's a 2-drink minimum. So whatever your tab or your check is at the end of the night, that's like what you pay. This one was different where I bought tickets. I think they were like $50 a piece. So it was $100. And then, yeah, I want to say that bucket of high noons was like $53 or something.
Oh, that's
like
not
that.
bad. That's kind of what I was thinking. Like right around like $50-$60, but that's not bad for like a venue.
I mean, it's $9 a
yeah,
drink.
it's still a lot, but it's like it could be worse because so some places like where you're paying $25 for a 12-ounce beer.
Las Vegas, $35 for a cocktail.
Yeah, and then if you get so stony baloney that you end up just eating a bunch of pretzels and popcorn at the game.
That was your approach, which is very financially smart. But
Frugal.
I didn't buy the $35 cocktail in Vegas. My uncle did, so I was like, yeah, I'll definitely take one.
Yeah, that's the biggest or most expensive drink I've seen to date.
But let's see. Yeah, then I went down to Tucson. I was like, you know what? I heard Tucson's cool. Got some peeps down in Tucson, so I was like, I'm going to go check it out. Had a nice little road trip across Arizona. It was like I looked it up on navigation, and it was like, oh, about 2 hours. 45 of that was just getting out of Phoenix.
Yep.
Like, because I kept being like, okay, am I out yet? Like, am I out? And nope, it was like come up on standstill on the fucking interstate. It's like,
I do not.
we are not in North Dakota anymore.
I do not do well with traffic. I think if traffic's bad up here, when it's like, oh, there's school getting out, and it took me 8 minutes to get home from work.
I mean, I'm fine with traffic, and like I don't mind big cities. It's whatever. I mean, it is what it is. it is fascinating. You know, I talked about this with somebody down there, and you know, they're like, I think North Dakotans are just so sheltered. I'm like, ding, 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 ding. We have a winner. Like, no fucking shit.
It's literally the Simpson movie where they drop a dome on a place because that's what we are.
I mean, and it is. That doesn't mean it's a bad place to live and there's not good people. It's certainly a great place to live, and there's plenty of great people here. But it's just like I used to work at a tiki bar. I went to 2 tiki bars down in Tucson because that was just, you know, what the people wanted to show me. I'm like, all right, yeah, let's go check it out. Got a Painkillers, delicious. Miss them. But the whole concept of like a tiki bar up here, in my experience, I worked there for 2 years. It was such a foreign concept to some people, and like they just like they couldn't believe it, and they didn't understand really what it meant. And then down there, it's just like
another day.
It was packed. It was packed. It was fish bowls. It was cool drinks, like seafood menu, like a lot of shrimp, a lot of stuff like that.
You a big shrimp guy?
I do. I love shrimp. Yeah, I had a platter at the first tiki bar. So delicious. We had, let's see here. We had pot stickers, bacon wrap shrimp, coconut shrimp. I feel like I'm homeboy on Forrest Gump right now.
Fried shrimp.
Then we just had like some skewers of like steak and chicken with like these nice dipping sauces. And it was good. It was delicious. It was really nice, refreshing, went along with it. But yeah, it's just that concept of like a bigger area. Because let's see, Tucson, I think they got like a mill? Because obviously Phoenix is, that's the big kahuna, if you will. Big kahuna? What the fuck's the word am I looking for here, Matt? Okay, half a mil. 543,000 as of 2021. Tucson. So let's just call it 5 times bigger than Bismarck, Mandan, right?
Yeah.
About 100K in our area. It's just so interesting. I mean, and it's hard to explain, but there's so much to do, and there's so many places.
It's more diverse, too.
Way more diverse.
Yeah.
And obviously Tucson, you're pretty damn close to the border, so you can about expect. I mean, I was told to stay away from like certain parts of town. And when planning it and getting my Airbnb, I had to make sure it was like a good neighborhood before I got that. But just so interesting. What I will say though, and it's every city. Every city has, no matter how big or small, they have the nice parts, they have the bad parts. Like, not everyone's nice, not everyone's mean, not everyone's rich, not everyone's poor. Like, there is diversity and disparity. But what I will say is one thing I do really enjoy about a Bismarck, Mandan, the North Dakota feel compared to big cities. I've been all over. I've been New York, Chicago, Austin, Denver, Orlando. I mean, I've been to all sorts, Minneapolis. I've been to all sorts of different cities. So I feel I do have a base to talk and give my opinion on it. It's so much cleaner here. It is so much cleaner.
I thought you were going to go like on that long tangent and be like, In-N-Out Burgers is really good.
It is. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah. But like, you know what I mean? It's just, when you're driving in a city and it is what it is, but there's just so many parts that are so fucking filthy and dirty and crowded and ugly and disgusting. And I mean, there's a couple parts around like Bismarck that have that, but for the most part, it's pretty nice. It's pretty clean. People, they got their lawns mowed and cleaned up, and like, storefronts, they want a nice clean front. There's not fucking garbage everywhere. Like, a lot of the restaurants and bars around here are really clean. Yep. You go into some of these, it's like, okay, it's world famous for the ribs, but oh my God, there's a pound of grime on the wall because this place has been open since 1977 and cleaned once.
There's a dead body in the bathroom, and no one, including me, is going to do anything about it.
Yeah. So I will say that, like for the most part, everything's just so much cleaner around here, and like, it's just probably because it's not so condensed, and there's just less people to dirty it up, I guess. I don't know.
I kind of want to bring you back to shrimp, because
let's talk shrimp.
I'm not like a huge shrimp person, but like given like a coconut or a fried or a bacon wrapped, I'm not like, I don't seek out the shrimp flavor. But what's your take on like cocktail shrimp, where you have like the cocktail sauce?
I'm glad you brought it up, because that's exactly where I was going to go. As you get older, you kind of start to like more things that you didn't like as a kid.
I just assumed I hated it my entire life. I never even tried it. And I tried it like a couple months ago. Not bad.
So like, even for me, like mushrooms don't taste like anything. But even now I'm like, okay, whatever, there's mushrooms, I'll eat them. It doesn't matter. That's just one example. Shrimp, I have always been a fan of shrimp. For my family, usually at Christmas, it's like the classic, like it's the same thing every year, and I'm okay with it. I like the tradition. For my family, we also have prime rib. Pretty basic for Christmas, but that's what we have. And then it's always like me, I'm the single bachelor of the family, so they give me the easy test. They're like, you bring the shrimp cocktail this year. I'm like, you know what? Oh, I can do that.
Yeah.
I'll gladly do that.
Head on over to the local grocery store.
Yeah, grab the tray and be on my way. Yeah. No preparation needed. But I've always liked shrimp. Like, I would hammer that shit, like almost to the point of ruining dinner. It's an appetizer beforehand. I would usually just take the lemon and do a little lemon drop on there, a little lemon juice. But this last year, I did notice I evolved my taste. I usually never liked the cocktail sauce, and I don't know what it was. Maybe I was just under the influence of something making me really hungry, but the cocktail sauce accented the shrimp in a way that I just couldn't explain, and it was delicious. I'm officially now a shrimp cocktail guy. Yeah. I was just a shrimp guy, now I'm a shrimp cocktail guy.
Did nothing about the shrimp cocktail should have been good. Will I ever like go out of my way and like if I'm at a restaurant, oh, let me get the shrimp cocktail? No. But if someone else does it and they're like, you want to try one of these? Yeah, I will.
I don't know if you know this, Matt, but we're talking about the United States, traveling, all sorts of different locations and cultures and people. North Dakota, we have Rugby, North Dakota, and that is literally smack dab middle of North America. Am I wrong?
I think they claim it's the geographical center of North America, but I don't know like enough about the curvature of the earth to like it could very well be wrong.
Hey, let's just look it up really quick. I'll look it up. But my point being is, I mean, I'm not a big person to like, especially eating out around here. I'm not going out for seafood. We're in fucking North Dakota. Like, take one good look over the map. What are you typing in?
Pornhub.
Rugby, North Dakota. The geographic center of North America lies near Rugby, North Dakota. Though this designation has no official status.
The first thing that comes out is the Smithsonian came out with new calculation comes out and it's not.
Okay, well, regardless, North Dakota is generally just right towards the middle of North America, very far away from the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, the Gulf of Mexico. I mean, we're not really close to anything. My point being is I don't like go out for seafood around here. That's for damn sure.
Imagine that day in Rugby where they come out and they're like, you guys are not the geographical center of North America. It's like, that's literally the only thing we have going for us right now.
They just have to take down every sign.
The marketing alone, we lost $700,000 last year.
It could happen. But yeah, I remember like years ago, went to like Red Lobster or something with the fam for my birthday or some shit. I mean, I love lobster. I think lobster's fantastic, but I just remember like, whatever, it's my birthday, I'm going to order a lobster. And the size of this puny little lobster, it was like the size of a shrimp cocktail. It was just like, come on. I was so upset. I remember just being devastated, and then I had to like cherish every bite because I knew I had like 4 small bites before this thing was gone.
I kept watching this like Food Paradise thing about lobsters in Maine, and the lobster rolls that they make up there, like with the folded up bread, look so flippin' good.
Dude, when I was in New York, we did like a seafood restaurant one night. Like that was the whole idea. We got oysters. I think I have a picture on my phone somewhere. I got oysters. Like we shared a bunch of stuff just to like indulge in it.
Yeah.
And I got a lobster roll. Oh my God.
It looks so good.
You want to know low key the best part of a lobster roll?
The bread.
It's got to be buttered, bro.
Dude.
Buttered and grilled to perfection. It's like a nice little toast on there, a little char. And then obviously the lobster can do, its magic, but buttery. Oh, man. Thank God I ate right before this. A nice little cup of soup. We always do this where we
Just
sit here and talk about food and then we get hungry.
It's like, we need to go find lobster rolls.
Where in the fuck are you going to find a lobster? Actually,
Maine?
Remember the music festival for country music that we did?
Oh, yeah.
For legal obligations, I can't say the name. Remember there was a food truck there that had like chicken sandwiches? Remember?
Oh, they do. They do.
That food truck, I'm not going to say names, they offer a lobster roll for $25.
Oh, yeah.
So
chicken sandwich is like $19.
Look, I'm not a cheap person. I actually have pretty expensive taste, but $25 for a lobster roll, and who knows what the lobster is? It's probably just imitation crab called lobster.
Yeah, that food truck will come right by my work for this thing, and it's like
we're gonna want to flip him right off.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, $19 for a chicken sandwich. Like, you realize I could go get 19 of those at the McDonald's that's just right down there. I don't care if it's not as good. I get 19 of them.
Okay, well. I'm still on Arizona, and I appreciate you giving me all this time because it's plenty to talk about. I was there for a week, but shifting gears in the food department, I told you I had In-N-Out Burger 3 different times, and I'm looking into the camera right now with no shame. Okay,
so good.
It was worth it. we were talking about before we got started, which I just don't understand. Like, I know it's fresh. How do they make it so good? I don't. It's like everybody can put lettuce and tomato on a thing and call it a burger and call it good.
I don't. It's weird. It's because it's like I usually don't like lettuce and tomato on my burgers, but like that's literally like my favorite part.
Sorry, I had to test my
Yeah,
headphones.
but like lettuce and tomato on it, so good at In-N-Out. But everywhere else, I'm like, yeah, I'll take that and like
Let's toss it.
throw it on the ground.
Do you think so? You know, In and Out, they come in like that little
Poncho.
that little kangaroo pouch.
Yeah, the sleeve,
if you will.
burger sleeve.
I think that actually might,
The presentation of the burger.
but I think that helps you keep the burger together because you start putting all that accoutrement, all the toppings on there. Okay, I can't say accoutrement.
What is that?
Haven't you seen that scene in 40-Year-Old Virgin?
I mean, I've seen the movie.
Okay, we're just gonna go down a rabbit hole of 40-Year-Old Virgin clips right now.
There's no way I spelt that right. Acupuncture?
You've never seen this?
Polymailers are a great way to package your product.
I knew I was gonna get an ad. Okay, Matt, we're just gonna
Let's go.
Michael McDonald, the all will be there. This is right at the beginning of 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Good. Sorry I'm late, man.
Oh, no problem.
Oh, man. I had a weekend.
Yeah.
We went to Tijuana, Mexico, and we thought it'd be fun, to go to this show. Everyone's, you got to check out one of these shows. And, it's a woman fucking a horse. We get there, and, we think it's going to be awesome, and it is not as cool as it sounds like it would be, man. It's kind of gross.
Yeah.
You think a woman fucking a horse, and you get there, and it's a woman fucking a horse.
Yeah.
It was really giving it to her. And you know what? To be honest, I felt bad for her. We all just felt bad for her.
Yeah.
Kind of felt bad for the horse.
Wow, that's something.
So what did you get up to?
I just kind of hung out. Friday when I went home, I really wanted an egg salad sandwich, and I was just obsessing about it. And I was like, man, I'm gonna make one of those. So Saturday I went out and I got like
Here it
a
is.
dozen eggs, and I boiled them all, and then I spent, I don't know, probably 3 hours, like 3.5 hours making, the mayonnaise and the onions and paprika and, all the accoutrement. And then by the time I was done, I just really didn't feel like eating it. And I didn't have any bread. So, it was pretty good.
Watch Seth
It was a
Rogen
good
right here.
weekend.
Sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was fine. It was
Sounds
good.
really fun. Cool.
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 So that's where accoutrement
I didn't have any bread.
plus I didn't have any bread.
That's great, actually.
So that's where all the accoutrement comes from. But that little kangaroo pouch that they're in, it helps you start eating it. Because you ever been to a place?
You eat it and all of it falls out the other side.
Yes. Matter of fact, right when I got to Arizona, like it was late and I wasn't like after anything in particular, but there's an IHOP nearby, so I ordered some food and it's like, oh, this biscuit chicken sandwich sounds really good. Dude, the biscuit, I just ate the patty of chicken because the biscuit just fell apart. It disintegrated.
Yep. That'll happen.
So yeah, I think the little pouch helps the In-N-Out burger. You get a few bites in before you start getting the rest and everything's kind of situated itself. It doesn't fall all over the place. They're literally just helping you eat a burger cleaner.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
think
wild.
In-N-Out has figured out the burger science.
Yeah, that's why I ate it 3 times while I was down there. It was awesome. My order, double, no onion, chocolate shake. That's all you need.
I think
I
the
also gained a ton of weight while I was there.
I ordered like the secret menu they have where you get the fries like animal style and they basically just put a bunch of like sauce on top.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
The fries aren't great. I don't know. I mean, I like fries, but so many times it's just like it's too much for me.
Yeah. Not great. Well, it's just sog city if you don't eat them like literally right out of the fryer.
What else? I got really drunk. When you go to a place, yeah, people are like, what are you doing on vacation? It's like, I'm doing the same thing I do at home, just geographically somewhere else.
It's like, oh, what'd you do at the lake for the whole week? I sat there and I
sat in the sun and drank beer.
Yep. Jumped in the lake a couple times. I don't know.
Yeah. I had an open seat next to me on both flights, which was huge.
That's nice.
It was huge.
I got upgraded to first class when I fly to Omaha on Friday.
Really?
Yep.
Wait, this upcoming Friday?
Yep.
Look at us, just taking vacays, bro.
First class up in the sky.
How did you get upgraded? I bought it. I bought it.
No, I did nothing. My sister's like a diamond medallion member, so she always gets upgraded. And I just drink vodka cranberries until my face falls
Are they
off.
complimentary in first class?
Yeah, it's like the time I went and I had like 4 vodka cranberries on a flight that was like an hour long. And then and then I get to the next, we like connect, go from Minneapolis to Omaha, and we walk across the entire airport, get on another plane. The flight crew comes on. Somehow it's the same flight attendant, and she like comes in and gives me like the finger guns. Don't know if you should do that on an airplane. She's like, vodka cran, and I was like, line it up.
And then Matt does the finger guns back, and they're like, he's got a weapon.
Take him down, take him down, take him down. Yeah, so I had like 8 vodka crans in like 2 hours and showed up in Omaha at like 10:30 shit-faced.
I mean, that's the way to go. But that's my Arizona recap.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody should go. T-Town, as we call it, Tucson. Great. Had a great tour guide. Thank you to them for having me. Appreciate it so much. And yeah, like I said, it's the best because when I went to my last 2 trips, I went to New York in the fall. I just went to Arizona. Both places, I had a local, somebody who has lived there for X amount of years minimum. They know all the good spots. That's the way to go. They introduce you to people like you. I met an owner of a bar and he gave me a hug. And they know our podcast. People know us down there. They're like, hey, do you remember that podcast? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, there's the host. And the dude's like, hey, he gave me a big hug. I slapped our sticker all over Tucson, like 2 places. But
that's pretty sweet, though.
Yeah, so.
I mean, we're going places. 193 episodes in. That's what I'm talking about.
Seriously, though, like, I will say that. Like, I love Phoenix. I've always loved Phoenix. I lived in Phoenix for a short time. I always try to make a point to go back. I feel like that's, like, my second city, if you will. Like, I've established that, where it's like, you've been there enough, and I know it enough to be like, I know these places. I don't know, Tucson, dude. Fun. It's a great place. They have the college campus down there, so it's like,
ooh. Did you go into Generation Cool?
No, it was closed by the time I got there. But
for people that don't know, we watched a show on Netflix called Slobby's World, and it's a guy that buys like vintage clothing, like a lot of like sports shit too.
It was a huge inspiration for us.
Yeah, and Jordan went and sent me a picture of it, and I was super jealous, but it was closed. But
it closed by like a half hour, and like I didn't realize how close I was because they just closed at 6. But
it's that thing where you're looking at your phone trying to find something, and it's like
right there,
30 feet from you.
Like when we were in Chicago.
Yeah, I've actually done
bring that up.
We actually did that in Minneapolis too. We like walked outside to go to a bar, and turns out it was connected to our hotel.
Oh yeah, that was funny. It was around the corner. I'll give us the.
But you can get to it by just walking through.
Remember when we get there and they're like, go check out the guest balcony. It's got a great view of the ballpark.
You can see into the ballpark.
Somebody said they could see into the ballpark. You go there and it's just like the wall.
Yeah, staring right into the back of the wall. It's like, I don't know what. It's you would literally need to be like 11 stories up to see like
part of the stands.
To see like the tippy top of the stands.
Anyway, let's move it on. Yep. We got a little long there, and that's okay. Sports betting is back, Matt.
So in the news with Ohtani, if you don't know, Shohei Ohtani has a translator that he's had since he got here. And this translator apparently went to Riverside College in California. Plot twist, he didn't. He supposedly had worked for a Red Sox pitcher beforehand.
Plot twist, he didn't?
Nope, did not at all. And he's been working for Ohtani for the last 5 years or so. and apparently has just been stealing money from him to gamble, and about $4.5 million, which to someone that just signed a $700 million contract, you would think that it's not a lot of money, but how do you not know that $4.5 million is missing?
Well, now they do.
Yeah, they do now, but Shohei is actually being investigated for having, because I think this guy's now coming out and saying like, oh, Shohei wanted me to bet on these. So he's getting into a little bit of a Japanese Pete Rose scenario that I think once they dig more into it, more things could come out.
Well, that's just going to happen every once. So I love me a good embezzlement case.
It keeps me like, I wasn't really into any sort of baseball that wasn't Cubs related, and I'm pretty into this story.
Yeah, well, and there's just so many different sides of it coming out, and of course it's right now when he just signed his mega contract, hasn't played for the Doyers quite yet. Wait, didn't somebody play a game in fucking...
The Dodgers played the Padres in South Korea.
And it counted towards a real... I don't understand that.
But then they're like, okay, now go back to spring training.
Yeah, and then we'll start in like a week.
Yeah, what if they were just like, all right, guys, in the middle of December, we're going to play a game in Iraq. It's going to count for your season, but then just go back to spring training.
Half the team isn't even signed yet.
I know. It makes no sense. And
so the MLB just played a random game in the middle of March in Korea, South Korea.
Yep, and
I'm assuming not North.
Not North Korea. Yeah, it's like they played in North Korea. No one came back.
So then they're like, okay, we still have 2 weeks left of spring training, but one team is 1-0 and another team is 0-1.
Essentially, another guy they paid like $500 million for, the pitcher, who they pitched in the first game, and he got absolutely shelled. It's like, you know what gets your season?
Puka shelled?
He got puka shelled, and it's like, you know what gets your season going off? Playing in a game 2 weeks before the season actually starts and giving up 5 runs in the first inning.
That's an interesting concept by the MLB.
But another thing that I don't really give a shit about is the NBA, but there's a guy like Jotei Porter. He's Michael Porter Jr.'s brother. He plays for the Raptors, and an insane amount of money got bet on his over-under props for points, which was like 4.5, rebounds, which was like 4.5, and made 3-pointers, which was 0.5. It was the most money bet in the NBA on the under. And he played 2 minutes and then left with a supposed eye injury, and he never came back. And so now he's being investigated.
How do they make it so obvious, man? I feel like if this was me and you, we would have a system down.
Yeah, it's bad. Like that was like the most blatant one. So now he's suspended, but like it was so bad that like the day before he played, and he scored like 12 points and had like 17 rebounds, and he left with an eye injury that he said he got 4 days before.
You can't just make it so obvious.
Yeah.
Have all this money bet on them and then like leave like that.
And it's
I would just be like, dude, coach, I have to take a shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna sit at the end of the bench, cross my legs.
Or here's a weird idea. Don't score. Don't shoot a 3-pointer. He's like a 7-foot center. His over-unders, don't shoot a 3.
Yeah, just pass it off.
Yeah. I mean, rebounds, you'd pretty much have to look like a moron to not get rebounds at 7 feet tall. But yeah, that's what I got. The NBA, that's my interest in the NBA is some guy clearly shaving points.
I'll admit I'm slowly kind of getting back into the NBA a little bit for Anthony Edwards.
Dude,
have you watched his highlights? He's a freak athlete. He's so good. He's the next Michael Jordan.
He jumped like out of the gym, that dunk he had, and he like broke his hand by just like stiff arming the guy.
Well, he had that game-winning block a few weeks ago, and then he just had that dunk against the Jazz.
Yeah, they said he had block of the year and dunk of the year within like 10 days of each other.
And he's just so like, if you just watch his highlights, it's so fun. But it's still hard to get into because it's like nobody tries. But I mean, Anthony Edwards is a freak, so. And I'm glad you bring up Shohei Ohtani because the Mound Dogs are back. I had my fantasy baseball draft last night. No idea what I'm doing. I am clueless out there. After the 4th round, I was like, I know some of these names because they've been on my team before, but no. So at one point, I was strictly drafting people with cool names, aka I was drafting Asians.
Ooh.
I have a lot of Asians, and Shohei is on my squad. I was like, you know what? I haven't had Shohei yet ever in fantasy baseball. Kind of want him.
Isn't
this
he
year.
not pitching this year though?
He's not doing something, but I don't care. He's going to be good.
Yeah.
As long as this sports bet, that'd be so funny. I would get Shohei and he just gets suspended for the year. It's like, great. There just goes my 2nd round draft pick.
Who'd you get in the 1st round?
Oh, it's a good question. I think I went with, let's see, where's it at? Where is it? The Mound Dogs. We were formerly the Hound Dogs. Let's see, my team.
I feel like I wouldn't know where to draft. Like after the
Spencer Strider, best pitcher in the league. I had him last year.
he plays for the Braves.
Correct.
Okay.
I got Strider, Shohei Ohtani. I got Francisco Lindor, Marcus Semien. Had him last year. Paulie G. I have Masataka Yoshida. Is my number 1 outfielder.
Oh, he plays for the Giants.
Red Sox.
Okay.
I got and then so I wasn't really like paying attention towards the later part of the draft, and it started auto drafting. I don't know if it knows I'm a Cubs fan, but it auto drafted Saya Suzuki and Ian Happ in back-to-back picks.
Did Suzuki
After I drafted Adbert Alzolay.
Suzuki's hitting 550 right now in spring training and hit 2 home runs today.
Wasn't it over today, last day?
I think so. I'm actually going to a Cubs AAA game this weekend.
Yeah, that should be fun down in Omaha or in Iowa.
No, it's in Omaha. They're playing the Storm Chasers, which I think is the Brewers.
And that's an Omaha team?
Yep.
How far away is the Iowa?
It's probably
facility?
A couple hours from Omaha. But it's like AAA. Like the stadium looks like it's like a high school stadium.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
And tickets for right next to the Cubs dugout for 5 of them were $22 a piece.
Well, you can't go wrong there.
Yeah, I mean, it's sweet. Grab a hot dog.
But the Mound Dogs are back, okay? And reminder to our listeners, what's mine is also yours, okay? So if anybody has any hot tips, sleepers, suggestions, send us a DM. I need it. I need it bad. We need a championship this year. And I think if we get a championship this year, that'll elevate us to dynasty status. I think that'll be 3 championships in like 6 years. So we're going for a dynasty.
I mean, that would be dynasty.
I wonder if we're even pitching in this year. I never heard anything about like, hey, send me money.
What if it was one of those leagues that just automatically renewed and you were like the only one that was actually like playing in it? We
should do that. We should do that. We should get an MBNH team. And hopefully we get a league where like 6 of the 8 guys don't try.
We could do that.
Man, it's something in the oldest esophagus road trip.
So I found this really cool map. It's called the Ultimate Road Trip, and it goes through the UK.
Do I see? Oh, I have it too.
And it's basically just funny names. So I was kind of thinking of like things that you would do. So going from south to north, you start in Shitterton, and then you go to Ass Hill.
What country is Shitterton in?
I think that's Scotland. No, that's not Scotland.
From Shitterton to Ass Hill. And then you can make your way up to
Horswood. Then a nice little detour through Bitchfield. And then, you get to Cock Alley, it's like that gum alley they have in...
Yeah.
But it's just a bunch of dildos.
Hopefully you don't have blue balls, because it is quite a distance to your next destination, Dick Place, which is nice.
And then you get to Cockbridge, and you end it out on Twat.
So you start in Shitterton, and you end in Twat.
I would if there was like a soccer team in Shitterton, I'm all in.
Is that your team? I would probably go with the soccer team from whores would. You know, I mean, I've been working on this rant about, sluts and whores and like defending them. And so I just feel like, as Horton Weichel himself, I have to root for whores would.
You're embracing it now.
I don't know. I think it might stop being a whore for a while. We'll see.
Yeah, but I just feel like that would be a funny road trip to go through. And you're like, oh, yeah, I just got some pies down in Bitchfield. Yet tomorrow we're going to hit up a football game in Cock Alley.
My girlfriend lives in Dick Place.
Yeah.
We'll go to Dick Place and see my girlfriend this weekend.
Yeah, I went to Cockbridge Grammar School.
My grandma's a real twat. She lives in Twat.
Yeah, it's up there in Wales. It's a small town called Twat.
I don't know, Bitchfield.
I broke my leg on Ass Hill.
And that's just, you got Ireland there too.
Yeah, and I love about all these dirty sounding names, and it's like Dublin. That one might be the worst of all of it.
Good old Ireland.
Yeah, but that's all I had for that. We could start.
Do you have what do you do, Matt? Like, say you're texting somebody, maybe you're talking to a girl or just a new friend or something. You haven't really texted this person before, and you're a jokester, and you make a joke about one of the comments, and then they text you back, LMAO. What's your first thought?
I don't use that one at all.
Yeah, me neither.
That's the same in like Raffle, ROFL.
Yeah, well, you could throw that in there too. What do you do? Somebody, and what if? You're obviously joking around, but what if they chronically are using LMAO? LMAO.
I probably won't
LMAO.
talk. I probably won't talk to them very much.
That was my theory. Like, you can't trust LMAO people.
I'm an LOL or bah ha ha.
Okay, you are. Okay, that's our next one. Some people say ha ha ha, and some people say bah ha ha blast. Are you a bah ha ha-er?
I think so.
Oh my god, I didn't know
I'm
that.
more of just use the emoji. That's why we have them.
Well, after Matt's last statement, I'm happy to announce this is the last episode of No Brains, No Headache.
Almost made it to 200.
Almost.
Bah ha 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 ha.
I should have sent you to the airport and be like, yeah, I do need a ride from the airport. And then been like, I'm not there, bitch. Bah ha ha ha. Podcast is over.
Kill yourself.
KYS.
I've been using a lot of acronyms like KYS at work and stuff.
I keep forgetting to communicate exclusively in GIFs, and it's really bothering me. So many. What?
Shit for brains, SFB.
Is that what that is?
That's one I've been using. I don't think it's a really an acronym.
I'm just under the impression if somebody says LMAO-ROFL or bah ha ha ha, I don't want them in my life.
I'm not a big bah ha ha. I'm usually an LOL or a laughing face.
Do you ever catch yourself saying like LOL and then texting a few words and then finishing that same text with LOL? You're like, Jesus, this is the funniest fucking thing I've ever fucking heard in my life.
I usually, and then if you get like one ha, that just means it was a courtesy ha. They're not actually laughing.
Yeah, I have a real problem with just not texting people back. I think it's because I've probably had trauma of not getting texts back, so I don't want to like put somebody else through that, even though it's like, I don't want to talk to you right now.
Yeah, you just got to return the favor. So
I feel like when I was on vacation, I had so many people hit me up that like I haven't heard from in weeks, and it's just like, why did you pick now of all places to talk to me? I'm not in the mood. I'm on vacation, thank you.
Maybe they were just like, oh, Jordan's gone, then I can get my asking him to hang out of the way.
Probably. Thanks,
it's like
Matt. Really feel good about that.
Well, you were gone, and I didn't have a lot of people to hang out with, so.
I mean, it does happen a lot where like people are like, what's Matt up to? It's like, I don't fucking know. Text him yourself.
That was the first comment I got when I was sitting at Stadium, essentially by myself for a while.
Okay, well, when you're by yourself, it doesn't help. And when it's at the watering hole, that doesn't help.
But I knew
either.
that people were coming. They were just like, actually went into work that day, so they were like a little far behind me. And they're like, "Oh, you sitting by yourself?" And I'm like, "No, they're coming." And I was there for like 20 minutes and drank like 3 beers by myself.
Matt's just Sweet Caroline. Ba, 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 ha, ha.
You know what I told about that guy getting kicked out because they wouldn't put on wrestling?
Yeah.
That was actually me.
Probably was jackass.
Yeah.
Probably had one bet not go your way, and you're like, you know what? Boycotting basketball.
You know what? The Wrestlebacks are on ESPN 7. I know you guys probably don't have that, but I'm going to keep calling in until you put it on.
All right, well, I think that's our show. If you like the show, if you like our brand of comedy, first of all, you're a rare breed, and we appreciate you. Secondly, we'd appreciate your support even further. So, this Wednesday, open mic night at Jimmy V's. Following Wednesday at Gideon's, NBNH production at Gideon's. Matt and I have been known to tag team that one, so that's always fun. Check that out. We also, tomorrow, Tuesday night show, Laughing Sun Brewery. That's an NBNH production. I'll be hosting. I might actually be headlining. I may have to cover for somebody. Oh, I'm not going to get into the medical details for their sake, but
it rhymes with schmemroids.
So I might be actually headlining that one. Who knows? I was like, when they were texting me, I was like, I think the people are sick and tired of my jokes, but maybe not. So March 26th, Tuesday. That's literally the day this comes out. So that's a quick turnaround. Check that one out if you'd like. Or the big show, the one we're all waiting for, the one we're looking forward to the most, because it's at one of our favorite places. Thursday, April 18th at Stadium Sports Bar here in Bismarck. If you're in the area, you want to come check it out, get in contact with us. We'll make sure to get you some tickets. We're going to sell them the old-fashioned way. Okay, there's no online tickets available.
Yeah, stole it from the Eskimos.
Aren't you getting tired of all the scams?
Yeah.
Have you noticed all the scam people? Where do these people come from?
I got tickets for sale. It's like, yeah, just Venmo me $40 and I'll give you my tickets. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know how this works, but
well, I think I worked around that. But selling the online tickets, obviously, it's necessary, and I mean, I prefer that. It's just with this particular show or not. But yeah, it's like you put up a ticket link, and then you have these random people be like, "I bought 2 tickets. I can no longer go. Who wants my tickets?" It's like, you can request a refund just on the thing. It'll give you a refund.
My favorite part is people telling me that they bought tickets, but I'm like, okay, I can look up and see who bought tickets, and you most definitely did not.
I also love the people who are like, hey, can you hook up a free ticket? It's like, hey, no, I can't. It's $20. Like, don't be such a cheap asshole. But yeah, Thursday, April 18th at Stadium is our next big show. So come support us. Come support NBNH. Come support local comedy. Or you can follow us on socials. Where at, Matt?
At NBNH Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. We're on there. Just search No Brains, No Headache. You can find us. And we got 194 coming up next.
See you later, you cheese bags. Love you.
This is a freestyle off the top of the dome. Here we go. And I do it again, 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 again. I do it only once. Again, 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 again. I do it only once. I go down that river slow to the place I shoot like Carmelo. I'm living my life and we go hard, floating on the river in a party barge. And I see you on a sea dude. Your shirt was white and it was see-through. Please use your spray, no mosquitoes. Every time you found me